Hello and welcome to Spookies, where we go boots on the ground exploring Scotland, looking for really cool, lesser known or hidden history. Today it's just a wee one, meaning I'm going to keep it 15 minutes or less, can you believe it? So I better get a move on. What you're seeing now is footage from our approach to an incredible site known as Skara Brae, all the way up the top of Scotland at the Orkney Islands, and it's said to be over 5,000 years old. Because it's so old, and as you've probably noticed, there are certain milestones marked on the way to the site, such as the Inca civilization, which they have marked here for 1400 AD, and these go all the way back to the time of Skara Brae. This certainly makes you consider just how far back in time they say this place is actually from. It's really mind-boggling to think about, to me anyway. First Crusade. Oh yeah. Not bad, eh? Alright. Look, Bex, here we are. We made it to the birth of Christ. And look at that. The Great Wall of China, 220 BC.
That's quite cool, it takes you back in time, I suppose.
Wow, look at this beach. Look at view. No wonder they lived here. Right, let's go find it. And another good one. Pyramids of Giza. Entrance to Skara Brae. Look, here we are, we've arrived at Skara Brae. 3100 BC. Thanks. With that lovely greeting, we had arrived at Skara Brae, and what Historic Environment Scotland describes as the best preserved Neolithic settlement in Western Europe. It's incredible, eh? This place was discovered by accident back in 1850 when a storm with an exceptionally high tide battered the west coast of Orkney, as Orkneyology puts it. This tore away some turf and a load of sand from a mound known as Skara Brae, uncovering these ancient structures beneath. The name of this of course evolved over time, from Skara Brae to Skara Brae, Brae meaning the brow of a hill, which this used to be before that storm smashed it away. Interestingly, as Orkneyology also point out, this mound was described as being used as a prominent landmark by fishermen, known as a mead, where they could line it up with other landmarks to help navigate to good fishing grounds. To think this mound may have been used by people to navigate the waters is incredible. It really makes me wonder what other mounds or hills are out there hiding ancient structures beneath. Particularly reminding me of our visits to Scotland's pyramid, and if that really could be a structure under there, as suggested in those videos. For now though, I'm getting a bit carried away, so let's get back on site to Skara Brae. Wow, look at this wee one, Bix. Wow. What a place, right? And remember, these structures are said to be from over 5,000 years ago. Incredible. As you can see here, this one, known as House 7, has a modern roof over it to protect the interior. You can't actually see or go inside this, but there is a modern replica that we do get a look at in a bit, so stick around. Just now though, as you can see, we're sticking with the original structures, of which 10 buildings were found in total, I believe, which you can see numbered on this map. And if you look here, you can see the passage we were looking down earlier, to give you a perspective on how this translates to real life. And by the way, although this place was discovered all the way back in 1850, it took a while to be properly investigated, by the look of things. Upon its unearthing, the 7th Laird of Breckness, William Graham Watt, carried out an excavation uncovering 4 houses. However, it wasn't until another storm damaged the site in 1924 that the decision was made to properly look into it. This was led by Professor Vire Child, who it is said uncovered the full village as you can see it today. Despite uncovering the village physically, Child didn't uncover the full potential of the site in terms of its age, believing it was from the Iron Age, around 500 BC. The dating of the site going back to 5,000 years ago comes from radiocarbon dating from excavations carried out by National Museums of Scotland in the early 1970s. As Orkneyology tells us, they targeted the midden areas between the structures. Quote, "This exploration produced material, charcoal, bones, suitable for getting radiocarbon dates, showing once and for all that Skara Brae was indeed Neolithic." End quote. I think it's interesting to note that Orkneyology also mentions that the full results of those excavations have still never been published, now over 50 years later. During these excavations, there was quite a few artefacts found, some of which are on display in Edinburgh at the National Museum of Scotland. Getting back to Orkney though, let's go see more of Skara Brae. Incredible, eh? Look at the corner. Oh, corner is this. It's cool, eh? Back again, because I wanted to mention that although today Skara Brae has this amazing location right next to the sea, it's said that this is actually the result of coastal erosion, and that at their time of use, these structures would have been more inland. Another point to mention, one that Paul Cook himself might like, is that these structures appear to have had indoor toilets. That's right, 5,000-year-old indoor toilets. Maybe. It's been speculated that the apparent drains at Skara Brae may be from toilets, with flowing water running away the waste, as toilettimeline.co.uk explains. Now there's a source I never thought I'd be using. One thing that I personally find fascinating about this site is how small it appears, as in everything looks like it's for a smaller people. It reminds me of other things we've seen in Orkney, such as this chambered cairn, which is also said to be 5,000 years old, and the dwarfy stane. Could they have been made for and by a smaller being? With them all being on various parts of Orkney, I find that interesting, as one thing they do all have in common are these small doorways, corridors and spaces. This was done purposefully, and it really makes me wonder. Another similarity I wanted to note was this stone here, that you might have noticed earlier, which to me really looks like a standing stone, even with similar angles to those nearby at Sten Ness. I believe this adds further weight to my thinking that a lot of standing stones could be the remains of structures, like this, and the not too far away Maze How, or reused stone from larger structures, but who knows. What do you make of it all? As always, please do share your thoughts in the comments. Cheers. Amazing, eh? I think this one really makes it clearer how they believe these structures may have looked back in the day. As mentioned earlier, there is a recreation on site to make that even clearer and give a sense of how it might have been inside. A reconstructed one. That's pretty cool, eh? Reconstructing the past. What it meant to have looked like. See the stone slabs on the roof. Got a task building one of these, but it'd be a nice view house, eh? Wow. Well, shall we go and check it? Now, unfortunately, my footage here came out too dark. This was my first weekend using that device, and I wasn't sure about the settings, so apologies. But I do still have these images. I particularly like this one because it shows how they also incorporated some of those small entrances as well. I also like that it shows the ceilings and the roofs and what they may have looked like back in these times. I really can't help but wonder about the people that lived in them. What was their culture and beliefs? What was the world like when they lived in these structures all the way back then? I definitely left here with more questions than answers, that's for sure. The same way you're probably leaving this video. Oh, and look what we saw on our visit, a wee bit wildlife. It wouldn't be a Spookies video without a wee bit wildlife, of course. Anyway, our time here is coming to an end, but I hope you've enjoyed this wee look around Skara Brae. I think this site is important as it shows what could be hiding right under our feet and gives me motivation to keep searching and making more of these wee silly videos. So why not subscribe and join me for the journey. I'm working on a few things at the moment and I look forward to sharing when complete.
There we go.
In the meantime, why not check out one of our older adventures or join us over on Instagram for occasional previews and general chit chat.
Look at that.
To all of those who stuck with us, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And if you're new here, welcome. Hopefully you'll get used to the accent soon and can enjoy the channel. Fingers crossed you'll see me on the next one. Cheerio.